Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Screeny. America's Got Talent, The Champions is one of the most popular shows of 2020. With all 4 judges returning for another season, as well as an increased budget, this show doesn't disappoint when it comes to showcasing talent from all around the world. From a handicapped comedian to a violinist on fire, here's our picks for the most incredible AGT Champion auditions seen so far. Before we begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos about your favorite movies and TV shows. Angelina Jordan. Here's a girl who went from watching America's Got Talent as a kid to becoming a golden buzzer act herself at just 13 years old. However, considering this is America's Got Talent Champions, there is some backstory as to who Angelina is. You see, Angelina was actually the winner of Norway's Got Talent back in 2014 at just 7 years old, but in hopes of launching her mainstream singing career, she took her talents to the American stage. Angelina gave it her all with her reinvented version of the absolute classic song Bohemian Rhapsody by the one and only Queen. And by reinvented version, I mean she took a completely different approach to performing the song. From slow and melodic to loud and dramatic, Angelina showed there's no limits to her voice. Her audition was so stunning that she received an immediate standing ovation from all 4 judges, with Simon even saying this.
Everything about tonight felt like it came from you. I've never heard that song in that version before. This was an amazing performance.
And after all the judges gave their piece on how great the audition was, Heidi does the unthinkable. After this golden buzzer performance, there's no doubt Angelina will see extreme success in the coming years. V-Unbeatable. Here's a dance group who initially entered the show in 2019. The group comes from a village in India and claim that the life they live there is extremely difficult as there's little work or government funding. Despite coming from such struggle, V-Unbeatable managed to attend the show and absolutely shock the judges with their dancing talents. However, this stardom was short-lived after they were eliminated later in the season. Luckily for them, America's Got Talent, The Champions brought them back into the limelight one more time for a second chance. As soon as they enter the stage, Howie Mandel rises from his chair in shock that they're back.
Probably one of the most exciting, best acts I've ever seen in my history as a judge.
In high hopes to win the competition, they gave it their all. From front flips, back flips, in-sync dancing, and even wall running, the V-Unbeatables had one of the most craziest auditions seen so far on the show. The talent was undeniable. I mean, come on, just take a look at Terry Crews's reaction to one of their stunts. Of course, all the judges expressed their love for the act, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary for them until Howie presses the golden buzzer. Well, he doesn't exactly press the golden buzzer, he sat on it. But regardless, with the golden buzzer to back them up, there's no doubt this was one of the most amazing AGT Champions auditions yet. JJ Pantano. JJ Pantano is a 7-year-old that in the beginning fools everyone into thinking he's a singer. He took the stage claiming he was once on a show in Australia, but felt he had some unfinished business and wanted to take his shot on America's Got Talent Champions. After a few seconds of standing in the light and letting the background music play, JJ jumps right into the setup for his first joke.
Alicia Dixon, you started your career as a singer and sold 42 million albums. Oh, wait a minute. That's Alicia Keys. Sorry.
His act was quite unexpected, considering his young and innocent appearance, but the premise of roasting the judges had the audience in stitches. He went after Simon first, with a vicious line. Did you know that backstage there are 5 hairdressers, 3 makeup artists, a wardrobe department, and a whole team of nutritionists?
And that's just to maintain Simon's new look.
Ouch. Immediately, JJ digged into the next judge, then the next judge, then the next judge. This is quite the risky move for any comedian to take on a talent show, much less a 7-year-old kid. But it worked. He even went after Terry Crews at the end, informing him that he's already played more games than Terry in his football career.
You're a pro footballer. You played 32 games. I'm 7 years old and I've played more games than that.
Ryan and Niemiller. Despite getting 3rd place last year, Ryan wanted more from his talents and came back on AGT Champions for another shot. Before he stepped onto the stage, he received a pep talk from Terry Crews, and upon walking out, how he jumped up in excitement.
Very funny comedian who did really well this year.
I'd say that's a pretty good start. Ryan instantly jumps into his routine, poking fun at the crowd's discomfort due to his disability.
Some of you look really confused right now, and I love that. You're very uncomfortable. That makes me very happy. You're not used to a handicapped guy being this confident. I love that.
Clearly confident in himself and his abilities, he continues and manages to get laughs out of most of the crowd.
Like, having these arms is the one thing I have in common with a woman with huge boobs, just people struggling to make eye contact as they talk to you.
To pretending his arms were lost in a car accident.
A few months ago, I totaled my car. The driver of the truck, he got out to check on me. You could see the moment on his face where he went, "Oh my God, how hard did I hit him?"
Ryan manages to keep us laughing at something that's usually met with negativity, and that's definitely an amazing talent. The Silhouettes. The Silhouettes were on AGT all the way back in 2011, returning with a huge amount of new members to add more to their shadowy musicals. Simon immediately points out that this group was the first to expose him to this art form, and he now judges all similar acts by comparing them to the Silhouettes. This time the group showcased a scene portraying the life of a woman and her dog, going from her graduation, to the military, to returning in a wheelchair, all using shadow effects. The emotional scene ends with the woman grabbing the dog's leash, standing up out of her wheelchair, and making a heart with her hands and the dog's paw. This scene is first met with tears from the audience, then turns into praise for its creativity and story.
That was absolutely beautiful. I thought that was also incredibly creative.
Simon asks, "Where's the dog?" And 3 of the members raise their hands, showing just how coordinated this group had to be for such a smoothly flowing act. This large sum of people has such massive talent individually and collectively, and are rewarded for that with the golden buzzer.
I want to see more.
Not only that though, this is the first golden buzzer given by Alicia Dixon. Boogie Storm. Here's an act who received 3rd place on Britain's Got Talent's 2016. Simon expressed to everyone that this was his favorite act ever, and luckily for him, they're back on AGT Champions with a clever new skit to reintroduce themselves. The members are scattered about what appears to be a broken down ship, while TVs and newspapers display their past on Britain's Got Talent. Terry Crews appears in classic Star Wars hologram, emitted through a droid fashion, serving as a segue into the main act.
This is America's Got Talent, the champions. We've got winners and acts who deserve a second shot.
This entertaining Star Wars themed group marched in front of the judges and directly to the stage to kill it in unison. From backflips to head spins, these troopers put on quite the show for Star Wars fans and dance lovers alike. It makes us wonder if this is what the First Order is up to now. Anyways, it's Howie's decision to give the golden buzzer this time, but he decides against it.
Howie, if it was me, I would give them the golden buzzer.
I can't.
You can.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Luckily for Boogie Storm, Simon stands up and presses the buzzer himself, justifying his choice with the hilarious quote.
You know why I did it? Because I believe the dark side is the good side.
Heidi feels like it's a little too gimmicky, but Terry and Simon both continue to praise Boogie Storm and celebrate their path to the finals. Brian King Joseph. Here's a 28-year-old violinist from Los Angeles. 3 years ago, he was diagnosed with a rare nerve disease.
A rare nerve disease that will eventually leave me paralyzed.
The first time he was on America's Got Talent, he reached 3rd place in the finals, and luckily for him, AGT Champions called asking him for another shot. His new act starts with him walking down the aisle between the crowd, already playing his violin, before he approaches the judges, picks up the intensity, and moves on to the stage. Sparks literally fly as fire shoots out behind Brian. Of course, all of the judges praise him and his act.
Love your violin. Everything about you, from your hair, the way you're dressed, your whole steez, I loved it.
There's no denying that Brian is talented now, and one of the best to pick up the strings. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos on your favorite TV shows, and tap one of the 2 videos on screen for another amazing video.